guys, welcome back to my channel. So the topic of today's video is what I spent versus what I make. I want to make this video to help illustrate the cost of higher education versus what the jobs are out there paying these days. And so specifically as it relates to law school. So what I did is that I went and I surveyed 5 of the most popular jobs that people tend to get after law school and the most popular jobs when it comes to swaying people's decision to go to law school. So if you want to know what first year salaries are actually like compared to what law school costs really are, stay tuned. So of course I'm going to keep these lawyers anonymous. I'm just going to refer to them as lawyer A, B, C, and so forth. So we're going to start with lawyer A. So lawyer A spent $120,000 on law school. She went to a public university. Her first year salary out of law school as a federal judicial clerk was $59,000. She worked as a clerk for 2 years before making her transition to big law. The reason why a lot of lawyers or law school grads tend to go this route is because if you don't go to a high ranking school and know somebody so that you kind of have big law knocking at your door, what a federal judicial clerkship does is a huge resume booster as a pathway to big law. So what she spent, $120,000, what she made, $59,000. Lawyer B is a prosecutor. I would say this is one of the TV law jobs, if you will. This is, this is a lot of what motivates people to go to law school. It's exciting. You are fighting crime and keeping the community safe. Being a prosecutor paves a lot of paths for you politically. A lot of our elected officials tend to be prosecutors. So lawyer B is a prosecutor. He spent $225,000 total in law school costs. He went to a private university, a ranked school, arguably maybe number 1 or 2 in his state. What he spent, $225,000. What he makes, $62,500. The next lawyer C, kind of had a path that I would say is reflective of most law students who don't necessarily want to go into public service where jobs are readily available or private practice. There is a segment of people who find out through law school that they want to just do transactional work, they want to do policy, don't necessarily want to be in the courtroom, and they don't like the criminal sector of things. A lot of different reasons. So I'll just kind of, loop this pathway into a desk lawyer, if you will. Lawyer C spent $150,000 total in law school costs. She did go to a private university for law school, and she got a job working for the Board of Education in the metro area where she lives, making $75,000 a year. What she spent, $150,000 versus what she makes is $75,000. Now, what I want to know about lawyer C is that it took her 18 months to get this position. She was very candid with me, telling me that, like a lot of us, she couldn't find a job that she really wanted right out of school. Nobody was hiring. She had to work kind of odd end jobs to make ends meet, like document review or tutoring. Her plight is like a lot of law school graduates. They don't necessarily have job options right out the door, let alone one that they actually want and like. So that's also something to keep in mind. So lawyer D went to a public university. He spent $125,000 total in law school costs. When he graduated, as he explained to me, he wanted to take the first job that came around. He went to work for a small firm where they primarily did personal injury work. His starting salary as an associate, $42,000. So what he spent, $125,000 versus what he makes, $42,000. And last but not least, we have the public defender. So lawyer E. Lawyer E spent a total of $180,000 in law school costs. And he got his first job as assistant public defender with a starting salary of $48,000. Now, there's a lot of different reasons why people choose the jobs that they choose. One of the truths out there is that public interest jobs as attorneys are usually open and ready to hire because they have high turnover. Sometimes people get burned out, sometimes their budget cuts and then rehire. Sometimes people just do them long enough to get their student loans paid off, which is the 10 years, or they decide that the work is too demanding, or they look for other positions because they just want more money and public interest doesn't pay that well. So you will typically find a lot of new grads entering the public sector. And being a prosecutor or a public defender is probably the absolute best way to get trial experience if you want to be in the courtroom. So that is why a lot of grads tend to gravitate towards those jobs. They're always hiring and they're exciting. The reality is that those salaries aren't sustainable long term. I personally think all public interest attorneys should be making 6 figures out the door. Like, just find the taxpayer money for it and pay it. Prosecutors and public defenders play such a pivotal role in our community that you just need to pay them what they're worth. And when you don't do that, you show that you don't value their client, who is the people. So those are the most popular jobs that law school grads tend to get after, graduating and passing the bar. Those are also some of the most popular careers that people aspire to have. So again, I just want to make this video to bring a dose of reality as to what salary in life is like for most of us out there. Only on TV do you see these designer wearing prosecutors and public defender lawyers are working these public interest jobs, but somehow are able to drive a nice car and wear Ferragamo shoes. I hope that you guys find this video informative. Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.